Alright, so I've now melted my butters down. Well, this is my coconut oil and my butters. I have moved my camera and learning where the sweet spots are. Okay, so I want to go this way. Okay, good. Learning the right position is tricky for me because it's opposite and sideways. So anyway, there's the coconut oil, the shea butter, and the coconut butter are now melted. So now I'm going to add in the shea butter into that. You want to heat it much more lightly so that you don't damage it. So putting it into warm oils is the best way to melt your shea butter. I could have cut it into smaller pieces, which would certainly simplify it, but I didn't. It's kind of cool right now, oddly. Here it is, April, moving toward May in Texas, northeast Texas, and we're having a rather cool snap, like dropping down into the upper 30s and 40s at night. So I don't turn on the heat this time of the year. The house stays. It's a pretty tight house, so I don't have to turn on heat or anything. Well, I have a fireplace in the den, so which is where I spend most of the time when I'm not soaping or working. Alright. So anyway, my point is this room does get very cool in the cooler months. And I do have air conditioning, so in the summer when it gets hot, that's not a problem. I can certainly keep the room cool. So I'll be back once the shea butter is all melted. Alright, so got my shea butter pretty much melted here. A few little flecks there. I'll give those just a moment more and they should disappear. I love the gloss that the shea butter gives to all the oils. If I didn't mention, there is castor oil in here too. Oh, okay. You know, I'll just put the recipe on the screen. I don't have to remember. I always do this. I make it up, and I generally have one recipe that I stick to, but lately I've been modifying, trying different things to see what I end up with, to see if I can just make it a little better. And this is my attempt at making a very luxurious moisture bar. If I didn't mention, I'm super fatting this at 7%. Alright, so it is there. We're where we want to be. So these two containers here are a little small, so I'm going to move to a larger container here. So I'm going to pour in my butters. And yes, do I really need to mess up 3 containers? Probably not. There are, I know other ways. You can heat up your liquid oils and then put your butters and your hard oils like coconut oil in those warm oils and then let that melt. Some people do stovetop, some do microwave. So everybody has their own method. So yeah. I love that there are so many options out there. I'm not worried about air bubbles right now, because right now we're just dealing with oils and butters where you're not adding any lye into it yet. The reason I'm spending a little extra time here is that if you look, let's see, I don't know if you can see that or not. See that extra? By just scraping down, you're getting everything that you paid for. And oils are not cheap, as you all know. Oh yes, there are bargains to be found. We can save money, but there are concerns too, certainly. There are soaps that don't sell. There are concerns about your soaps going rancid that don't sell. There are some things that fly off the shelves, and there are some things that just sit for a period of time sometimes. And from what I've heard from others, if you're starting a business, which I'm not doing yet, I'm still in the fun stage. Yes, I have a plethora of soaps. And if you're interested in a free bar of soap, just send me a comment and how I can contact you, and I'll be happy to send you a bar. It just costs $1 or $2 for me to ship it, so it's not a big deal. Unless 5,000 if you ask for one. It's another issue. Anyway, so where was I going with that thought? Oh yes, for businesses, you have to take into consideration several different things, right? I mean, you should specialize. And truly, what I love the most are natural soaps that have, when I say natural, I mean they don't have any fragrance oils, they don't have any micas, they're just colored with natural products. And boy, am I aware of the ramifications of that. You can end up with a bunch of brown soaps. Let me get a few examples of my natural soaps. So this is just a sample of a few of my natural soaps that I've actually made here on YouTube. I have some others like this one that I've not done a video on, and there are a few others, but nonetheless, these are all natural. Obviously, you can see the colors are a bit more subdued. I think this one's carrot, and it is colored with French clay. Okay, so no artificial ingredients in any of these. Some of them use olive leaf, or this one was the big botanical one that I did recently, the garden one, and you can see all the different botanicals change the colors, which I love. I think it's just gorgeous. This was my green tea mint. I can go right through these. This is the eucalyptus and peppermint, and you can see that eucalyptus really darkened this. But anyway, my point is, these are what I like. If I'm buying soaps, this is all natural here. These are several different herbs here that are used to make these colors. I have a video on that. This one uses sandalwood and cocoa to create those colors. So I try to only use, and this is really my niche. This is what I prefer to do. It's what I love. It's what I want to buy. It's what I would prefer to, if I were marketing, this is what I'd sell. But I know on YouTube that there are broader audiences. Obviously, folks want to see swirls and see fancy piping and all those wonderful things that I haven't quite mastered. Well, not quite. I haven't mastered them at all. But I will in time. I'm not concerned about that right now. I will still do them. I will still try them. I have a ball experimenting with different soap types. But I guess my point here is that that's what my preference is. So I've now added in my liquid oils into my solid, to my butters, this is my coconut oil, my shea butter, my cocoa butter, mango butter. So I've now added in my liquid oils. I'm just going to get these mixed up here. I was looking to see if my restaurant was open. I'm wanting some sushi, but they're closed on Sunday. Yuck. I live in a very rural town, so to go out to dinner, I had an invitation, and to actually go out to dinner, you have to plan for it because you have to do some traveling. And one place that I really wanted to go to, because that was the option, was I could pick. So the one place I picked is in a college town not far from here called Commerce, Texas. And they have a little sushi restaurant there. It's a Japanese style called Tokyo Express. And they have some good sushi. But they're closed on Sunday. They're open on Mondays though. So, bummer. And small towns here, well, even big cities, oftentimes close businesses on Sundays. I think this goes back to the old, what they call blue laws. I don't know if you have blue laws where you are, if you've had them in the past, but basically these were, well, they were kind of theocratic laws. They were religious based. When I was a boy, when I first moved to Texas, it was the oddest thing I'd ever heard of from, because we moved to Texas. Sorry, my fingernails have muck under them. I was gardening earlier, gal clean. Anyway, when I was a boy and we came to Texas, they had what were known as very specific blue laws. So, for instance, you could buy a camera on Sunday, but you could not buy film. You could buy a hammer, but you couldn't buy nails. You could buy shoes, but you couldn't buy socks or lady stockings, and so on. And there were a lot of very bizarre laws like this, and they were so that you would be in church and not doing other things. Anyway, luckily, the times have changed in most parts of the state. But in these smaller towns like where I live, most certainly. Sorry, I'm just getting some of the final dredges out here. In a small town where I live, that is still the case after all this time. Businesses are still closed, and it's just the way it is. Any of you that live in the South that probably are used to this, you that live in the Northwest where I was originally from, or live in the Northeast even, on the anywhere on the coast, this probably seems very bizarre to you. I don't know. It's bizarre to me. Anyway, so the place I wanted to go out to eat is off the table for today. So I'll find somewhere else to go. So I've got all my oils now mixed together. This is both my liquid oils and my butters and my coconut oil, and everything's at room temperature. I actually went out to eat in between. So all of this is now at room temperature, which is right now at 66 degrees on the oils, and this should be exactly the same. And 66 degrees on the live water. Fantastic. What I'm going to do, as a matter of fact, let me get my mold ready, so that way I don't have to stop midway and we can just move forward. But, oh, I decided on a fragrance, I forgot to mention. The fragrance that I'm going to be doing today, I decided to do a blend of, this is a pretty wild blend perhaps, but it's going to be rosemary is going to be the one of the essential oil. This is going to be all essential oils, but I'm going to have rosemary, a bit of wintergreen, some orange, and there was another one. Let me take a whiff here. Clove. So quite natural, and I think it's going to smell fantastic. Well, it does already. The essential oils together, I think it's a really nice blend. And I'll put all this in the description so you don't have to remember what this blend is. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to add in our lye. Before I add in the lye, I'm going to add in the Kaolin Clay and the ground chamomile. And this will give the only color this is going to have. And I'm going to add in the Calendula Petals. So this will have a sort of a natural color to it. Nothing special. Now right now you can see although that's clumping up in there. That's our clays and things. So what I'm going to do is get the stick on this before I add the lye. That way I don't have to worry about it coming to trace too fast by doing any over blending when the time comes. rosemary, by the way. And the main reason I'm not putting it in this recipe is because I've made enough brown soaps recently. and Calendula is one of the few that I can add in that I know won't turn brown. So that's really the reason. That there's not much more to it than that. Now this does have the Kaolin Clay in it and the ground chamomile flowers. So those certainly add to the, first of all, just a luxurious feel to this already with all these butters. The Shea Butter and the cocoa butter and the mango butter, along with those fantastic oils. This is going to be a wonderful moisturizing soap bar. Alright, so I believe I've got it very fully blended here. It's a nice trace on it, and it's one great thing about it, probably the greatest thing about this right now, is that it has not turned into spackling clay, which has happened on a few of my soaps where I wasn't so careful with temperatures. So this one, I just let it be for several hours. Like I said, I went out to eat and it got it down to a very nice room temperature. Sorry, I was just cleaning my blender there. If you don't keep some kind of a container nearby to put your blender in, I suggest you do it. It makes cleaning it so much easier. So let me move my mold into place here. Alright. And I'm going to pour it in. Nothing special here in this pour, because it's all the same. Now I'm going to scrape it out, of course, get all of that out as much as I possibly can. And it is starting to thicken now, so good time to, glad I got it all in there. Yep, this stuff is going, oh, it just smells wonderful. If you like the smell of rosemary and other natural essential oils, such as the clove and a little bit of the wintergreen and the orange, wow, this, you would love this. It is just rich in those wonderful scents right now. This will be a true pleasure to bathe with, shower with. I like this. It's just pure and simple. Oops, sorry. Shaking the camera off the table. My apologies. So, matter of fact, let me go ahead and move this over to the floor just for a moment and give it a good pound, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so let it sit here for a few minutes. And out they come. Very nice. Nice color throughout. These are going to be, they're a little bit soft, but that's because they're moisturizing bars, right? These are just chock full of wonderful butters, mango butter, the cocoa butter, and of course the shea butter. And the smell of rosemary, oh, it's just fantastic. These are just delicious. All right. So I'm just going to push out a few more of these. There's no need in me individually going through all of them, but they're all going to be very similar. A little soft, but very lovely. I think these are just really nice. Fantastic. So these will be a big hit. I'm really looking forward to sharing these. I have my friend Carolyn in Idaho, and I think that she will get a kick out of these, so that's who these will be going to. At least some of these will be going to. All right. So while I struggle with getting all of these out, I'll just pause, and when I come back, they'll be all done. So overall, I'm really pleased with these. Nothing special here, no swirl. Well, they're very special in my opinion, but hey, I'm the happy father. But I'd say these, if I can hold on one, these came out very nice. You're seeing the chamomile and the calendula petals in there, and I just love how the calendula petals keep their yellow. But there's the chamomile powder in there as well, along with some Kaolin Clay. And they just came out really pretty. Now, I know that they're nothing too fancy, but gosh, they smell wonderful, and these are going to feel fantastic on the skin. So, hope you like them. I appreciate you all visiting as always, and hope you have a terrific day. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.